Yo, what's good, guys? This is Theo. Welcome back to CodeCademy HTML and CSS. We are currently on part 15. So let's go ahead and click resume. Let's just do it how we normally do it, actually. So let's go down to CSS box model. We just finished that. So let's go to CSS. Let's see, we're on images. And then we just have one more left. So we got two more lessons, guys. So adding images, let's go ahead and knock this one out. So in the very beginning of the course, we taught you how to add images to your web page using the image element. While this technique is still valid, it's possible to add images to a website and style them using CSS techniques such as background image. So take a look at the code, and what new code do you see? Okay, so let's look at it. So let's see if I can see anything different. Export with the code in this file. All right, so let's look at style, and here we go. Here's our first indicator. It's setting a background to an image. Awesome. So I think that's what they wanted us to take notice of. So let's go on to the next lesson. So this is, for example, we can modify the dimensions of an image using the width and the height properties. Okay, we know that. So take a look at the images of bicycles on the page. Okay, so I'm looking at all these bicycles. At the moment, they're too big, so let's modify their dimensions. So we're going to go into style.css in the product.image. Let's go find that. So here it is, product image. So let's give it some rules. So let's give it a width of 100%. Okay, and this is going to refer to all classes of product that have an image. And let's click run, and let's see what that did. Looks like that resized our bicycles pretty nicely. So let's click next, and let's move on. So let's see. It doesn't want us to do anything, but it's sort of just telling us, what we can change the display to, whether it's block or, centering it with margin 0 auto. So we've learned about all these things, guys. All right, next thing, we're going to try actually putting in a background image. So in style.css, add a background image to the ID of cover. Okay, so let's find this. And sorry about that. So the way this works is you type background, then you give it a key of URL, which is almost like a function, and then we can pass in this URL, okay, and then a semicolon at the end. Let's go ahead and run this, and there we go. Here's our background right here. Nice. Next one, we can sort of look at the background properties. So we have repeat X along the X-axis, repeat Y, and no repeat. I'd say the most common one you use is no repeat. I think a lot of the other ones can be kind of annoying and not very aesthetically pleasing. Number one, in style.css, make sure the background image of cover does not repeat. Okay, so let's just say that we can do it like this. We can say background repeat, that's the key, and we'll say no repeat. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Awesome. Next up, guys, we can position it, and here's all the different variations you can do. I'd say, again, the most common one you use is center, but really, you can give it whatever you want. So set the background position of the image in cover to top center. So it'll start from the top and the center. Okay, so we'll say background position as our key, and we'll say top and center. So X is top and Y is center. Let's see what that does for us. Cool. Again, it's hard to see some of these things unless you really, scale the page, but it is indeed working. Okay, cool. So let me get that back real quick. And now, in style.css, replace the three background images with a single background property that reuses the same values. Okay, so let's see. Replace the three background image declarations. Let me see, what are we doing? Background. Oh, right. Okay, so what they want us to do now is just sort of set it all here. So we could say no repeat and top center all in one property. And let's get rid of that. And let's go ahead and run this code. And awesome. So that's shorthand. Next up, we have cover and contain. Cover will take up the full space of the container, and contain will make it as large as possible so that it doesn't get distorted. Okay. So in style.css, set the background size of cover to contain. So we'll say background size as our key, and we'll say contain as the value. Let's go ahead and run this. And 2, the background image is letterbox, and it does not make sense to use contain. Okay, cool. So let's change this to cover. background size cover, and now it'll take up the full space of the container in which it's in. Awesome. So let's move on. So we now have background attachment. Again, I wouldn't say you use this very often, but the two properties are scroll and fixed. Scroll allows the image to move up and down, and fix the value pins the image's position on the page. Okay, cool. So in style.css, pin the background image cover selector using fixed. So we'll say background attachment, and we'll set that to fixed, and let's see what that does for us. Okay, so creating that sort of, parallax effect again. Let's move on. So there's also linear gradients. What this is, basically, it's sort of a, color, what is it? Like a color stop, basically a color that runs through the image, and you can sort of set it to whatever you want. So let's go ahead and try this out. Add the background image property to the button selector. Okay, so let's go find button in here, and here it is. And so we're going to say background image, and we're going to set it equal to a WebKit. This is a vendor prefix. What that means is it's written to support a specific browser, in this case Chrome, and it should start at this hexadecimal right here. So let's give it that as our starting key, and it will end here. And I'm personally not certain what these colors are, but I guess we'll find out. All right, so let's go ahead and run this, and cool. So we can sort of see it did a little something on the button. We have this like orange, red color. Awesome. So you've learned to add images to a web page using the image. So take a look at the web page to the right. What differences do you notice between the images used on the web page? Some have fixed widths. Some look like they have that more contained effect. Cool. So great job, guys. In this lesson, we learned about image dimensions, background image, background repeat, background position, the property to set the shorthand, and we learned about linear gradients. So we have one more lesson left. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and please subscribe and support the channel. It means a lot. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day. Take care.